summary of the 4 methods. This appendix covers 4 different methods that have been used to make copies of people. These were cloning, creating synthetic duplicates, creating organic robotoids, and finding look-alike doubles. Programs for all 4 of these methods have had almost unlimited funding by the intelligence/Illuminati elite. Next, the basic principles for creating a synthetic human were covered. Synthetic humans were in some ways found to be superior to the robotoids that were created. The first few years of robotoids were fraught with problems. Since my inside information is somewhat dated, I cannot give readers the status of current robotoid abilities. However, I believe from what I've seen that the program continues. The synthetics were people who had their genes altered to look more like the person they were to copy. The robotoids were the formation of new beings that look human but are actually bionic robots. Their memories were created by using living brain tissue, which is some type of programmable living biological matter, and programming this material as a sophisticated computer. In order to get the memory of the person being copied, a holographic image of the person's brain is made and transferred to the robotoid. Because the robotoid brain is not functioning like a human, although the end result is nearly identical so that viewers have to know what differences to look for, there are of course some adjustments that have to be made after the holographic image of the host is transferred to the living biological matter that will function as the brain of the robotoid. Lord willing, this author may write some more on this topic later. The ability of the Illuminati to copy people using the 4 methods listed above are not going to be the deciding factor in their moves to control the world, but it does give them a great deal of flexibility in their operations. This author frequently reflects on the words of the Illuminati Grandmaster who told Cisco, who was then a child, while touring a cloning facility, never think you are seeing who you think you are seeing. Final notes. As this author reflects back on what's gone into this first part, he can't help thinking about how God will reveal all things that are secret. See Dan 2:22 and other verses. The prophet Daniel called him the revealer of secrets. The secrets which are revealed in this book are minuscule compared to what God Almighty will reveal in His day. And as this author reflects back, he realizes that there is so much more that could be said. This author has neglected to get my information about the Clintons into this. For instance, this author interviewed a woman who went to school with Hillary, and 2 of Hillary's mind control victims. Our establishment media have neglected to tell the American people about Bill Clinton's roots and ties in Hot Springs, ARC. Hot Springs is a city that has 47 thermal springs which have brought the jet set from all over the world. The Mafia Syndicate and their nightclubs made Hot Springs a hotbed of vice, gambling, prostitution. During the 1920s the territory so popular with organized crime, that they classified the territory neutral ground like they did Hollywood. In the early 1960s, Hot Springs had the largest illegal gambling operations in the entire U.S. Billy's uncle Rhoda was a politician in Arkansas's legislature connected to all this mess, and Bill Clinton's uncle Raymond Clinton, who had a Buick dealership, was tied to all this corruption. Bill and his brother Roger's cocaine habits are well known by those familiar with them, as well as their wild parties at the Coachman's Inn, Little Rock, ARC. What are not known are Hillary and Bill's membership in the secret Illuminati, and for some reason some of their more intimate associates are also not known, such as Charles Chip Whitmore, a satanist and programmer. Chip and Bill have met often on a weekly basis over the years. This continues. For instance, when Bill was in England so was Chip. When Bill went to Florida so did Chip. Chip played drums with mind control programmer Jerry Lee Lewis. He was also a friend of Jack Ruby. It's a small world at the top of corruption. Chip owns Cash McCool's Tavern. He is 5'6" glasses for his poor eyesight, has good hearing, and has a filthy mouth. He changes the car he owns and drives every 3 to 5 months. Chip had a programmed girl murder a man, and then the network got him off of his murder charges. Chip's family's villa in Little Rock was pictured in the opening shots of Designing Women. Chip Whitmore has been in charge of assassinations in his area, and controls the local law enforcement in Arkansas. Jack Stevens, said to be the largest investment banker in Little Rock, is seen/part of the network. He exchanged information with Chip via their mutual black cleaning lady. Further, Whitmore and Stevens tie in with a string of corruption that extends into the Assembly of God churches and other parts of church unity. Over Chip is a Dr. Paul Palmeter. The media just gives us glimpses of the depth of occult corruption. For instance, Insight magazine February 26, 96, page 48, in an article by Suzanne Fields had a photo of Hillary's backside wearing what appeared to be a golden dragon on her black coat when she went to court to talk about the Rose Law Firm billing records. She has sometimes been called the Dragon Lady for good reasons. Will today's modern equivalents to shamans, our psychiatric community help protect us from murderers like Chip Whitmore? Not likely. The biographical directory of fellows and members of the American Psychiatric Association reveals that in 1957 there were 7,104 American members in the American Psychiatric Association. Of those 7,104, a total of 1,253 had moved to America from Germany and Eastern Europe. This helps us understand the enormous influence Operation Paperclip had on America. Operation Paperclip was the seed's project to smuggle Nazi criminals into our nation, some of which have now made Penn's campus infamous. No wonder the false memory syndrome got started at Pennsylvania University. We were warned by a psychiatrist in a weekly world news story of January 9, 1996 about a strange new sleeping disorder where people die after seeing a hooded rogue figure chase them. This new, deadly dream syndrome sounds strongly like mind control. Perhaps there is no way to have given the readers anything but a drop in the bucket. Some of the details that got left out on the way include, the Seventh-day Adventist Church's secret cooperation with the government to supply young men, 1,500, for government experiments called Operation Whitecoat, how the Department of Energy set up hotlines for victims of radiation experiments. In other words, the Fox is in control of where the victim goes for help. Pier A. Pedito, Mr. Intelligence in Italy, and his connections to the network. William Randolph Hearst's costume parties and his half-dozen homes like San Simeon. Torrance, CA's penthouses and Disney's mind control. The Masonic peace sign of uplifted hands with wrists crossed in the film 1984. The movie Army of Darkness with its mirror image programming. London bridges falling down, programming Diddy, etc. How Athena works with the 6th Army Vaticano was part of. How voodooism uses waterfalls for healing such as Absurdo, Haiti. How mothers of darkness altars are trained to love a marble, fed the marble, care for it, and then to shatter it with a hammer until it's fine like salt and then to repeat the process and only split the marble but not crush it. As part of their training to program, how certain torture is done to make the victim think they have a butterfly as a head with the head of the butterfly in their third eye area. How scribbling is used to anchor programming in child victims. Programmed soul ties to aliens. Mr. Green Jeans of Cat Kenro, talk of Mr. Moon. And how it was used for programming. The blood sacrifices under the Temple Mount on March 13th this year. The Masonic corruption in Arcadia, FL and the G. Piercewood Memorial Hospital. How secret meetings of the CIA have studied how UFOs could be used as clever, hostile propaganda trick to take advantage of the populace's gullibility. How Mengel's family never claimed his bones they knew they weren't the real ones, and how the International Red Cross gave him an ID to travel with South Africa's occult Shushung Palace. Maybe someone else will pick up where this author has left off. The mind control is all around us.